Are you gay? Are you a girl? How old are you? Ain't you like a kid? Those are all real, actual comments that I've received and still do receive to this very day. And just in case you didn't hear them, the comments are you gay? Which there's nothing wrong with being gay. Are you a female? I really shouldn't have to say this, but there's nothing wrong with being a female. And lastly, are you a kid? I'm not a kid, not gay. Again, nothing wrong with it though. Secondly, not a female. I'm 100% a man. I was born a man. I have a penis and balls and
I'm the macho man, better than the best. I'm the macho. Something about that.
thirdly, I'm an adult and I gotta cut my nails. All my life, I have been getting comments like that. The one I get the most out of that whole group is am I a kid? They really just get more rapid the older I get because, well, I'm in places where, a child shouldn't be. And just for point of reference, this is what I look like at 16 years old. I was a interesting looking kid, you know? Maybe it makes the comments make a little bit more sense because I could see it. Do I look like a 16-year-old? And also another question is too, do I look much older than that guy? Some people say I have a baby face. Actually, I mean, I would say the majority of people I run across have a baby face. And I agree with it. I can see it. I see that I look young. I can see it. But I think a lot of other things about me, right, that isn't just my face makes me look young, which is things like my body, right? Which I don't know if y'all can tell on camera, but I am skinny. I'm actually underweight. Not to say that people that look older aren't skinny, but, typically being skinnier is associated with younger people, So having a young face and being skinny, not a great mix. If I was fucking average weight or maybe a little bit bigger, they probably wouldn't immediately think I'm a kid. They would still think I'm young, I think, but they probably wouldn't be like, are you 13? Because I get that often. I'm not tall because I'm 5'10". Like last time I checked, I was 5'10". I might be taller, but I've gotten comments that I'm tall by girls. But then I've also gotten comments by people that I'm short. So according to the average, I'm not really like either or. I'm just pretty much in the middle, basically. That being said, though, I have cousins who are like 14, 15 who are the same height as me. Some are a little bit taller. Now, I say this because wrapped into having a baby face and being skinny, I'm also like, I don't want to say short because again, some people consider it tall, but it doesn't help my case that I'm not like taller. I think again, if I was taller, it would be a little bit harder for most people to be like, okay, this is definitely like a younger kid, because most people associate being tall with being older. And the funny thing is, like, I actually know someone, right, who's a short dude, right, but he doesn't have a baby face and he has a beard, so it's like nobody would ever mistake him as a kid ever. I don't think. Even if he cut his beard off, nobody will mistake him as a fucking kid because he just has like an adult face. He has like very like if you think about who's that dude that was in Spider-Man? He was in Spider-Man. He played the villain. Think about him though. I'm gonna put his picture somewhere. Think of him. That's how my friend looks, but just black. And in fact, there's probably a meme of him black. I'm gonna put that there too. So nobody will pretty much mistake him as a kid, even when he was a kid. Anyways, though, I'm talking about my experience, not theirs. When I was younger, those comments used to bother me. Now, I'm not gonna say they don't bother me, but I definitely don't feel as offended as I did when I was younger. It does kind of suck a little bit because people that are my age, they don't want to talk to me until I break the ice, and then I also let them know that I'm their age. I've got to do more things to prove myself to be being the age I am. You know what I'm saying? Which I get it though. And when I say other people my age, I typically mean women. Because they usually always say, hey, how old are you? You're too young or whatever. And if I don't let that phase me, because it doesn't phase me, and I just like, talk around that kind of shit, they're still going to be suspicious. And I know that, right, going in. So, like, it's kind of then a game of, okay, I got to try to prove to her I'm the age I am without, like, hey, check my ID out. You know what I'm saying? And without being so overt. So that's really my only issue with it. If it was just like things like going to a bar, where they would be like, okay, you gotta leave, kid. If it was something like that, then I wouldn't care because I just pull out my ID then, you know what I'm saying? But it's not that. It's more so that when I'm talking to females, it's like, you're a kid. I'm not a kid. I'm a grown ass man. But, you know, I mean, like, what are you supposed to do? And I'm genuinely asking this to everybody out there. Like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a person that's going to get heated over it. And even if I was a person to get heated over it, like, if I'm trying to talk to a girl, it's not going to help me by being like, what the fuck you mean, bitch? Even if she did believe I was an adult after that, that's still like, yeah, you just lost all your chances to talking to this girl because you're fucking crazy, you know? So I don't know. In those situations, I just don't know what to do. I would like to learn what to do in those situations. I mean, there is something I do know that I could do, which is like dressing a lot older and gaining some weight, which I do want to gain weight, right? But trying to dress older and trying to talk older and all that kind of shit, I don't really feel I'll ever do. And in fact, I don't want to do it. You know, I just, that's not me. I've never been a person to try to act like somebody else. I mean, I get dressing more mature. I can be mature. You know, I mean, not that I'm even walking around with a fucking pinwheel on my head. I wear mostly skater clothes though. So, I mean, somebody can say, oh, that doesn't help your case. Yeah, it doesn't help my case. But it also doesn't hurt it. There's tons of people my age that wear skater clothes, you know what I'm saying, or clothes that are street clothes. And then I'm like, why am I doing that? It's not street. It is street. But anyways, yeah, that's my only real issue with it though. It used to bother me a lot more though. Like in the bar scenarios, like that used to bother me a lot when they would ask for my ID. And actually, it even made me like feel really bad when I was younger. I don't know how I got over it. I guess it just kept happening, so I just kind of just learned to get past it. Now I see it as not a serious thing at all. But yeah, for a time it did. But I think that what really compounded it and made it worse for me, like to make me feel bad, is because I never, ever have been seen as my age, like past, like I want to say 10 years old. But again, and the reason I say it's compounded is because think about it. Like when I was 15, you know, I mean, a 15-year-old wants to be seen as their age. Sometimes a lot of 15-year-olds want to even be seen as older. I don't necessarily remember wanting to be seen as older, but I definitely do remember not wanting to be seen as a kid anymore. So when people would be like, oh, I'm in middle school, or oh, I'm, you know, just super young and shit, it did kind of bother me, which I think most people go through that. I get to 16, still getting those comments. And like, I'm thinking I'm going to hit puberty at some point eventually. I'm 16 years old and I'm still thinking that. And then I get to 17 and I'm still like getting comments that I'm a little kid. And it's like, fuck. So it just became a thing. So that's why it was compounded, because that shit just was already in me for all those years. And then to be still getting those comments at 21. And then when I go into a bar, I'm still getting asked about my age at 21. That made me feel really bad, you know what I'm saying? As I've gotten older, I've been giving a fuck less and less and less and less, and I really just don't give a shit at this point. Luckily, I will say though, the girl thing, that doesn't make me feel bad. That's just more so just annoying, you know what I'm saying? But no matter what it is with girls, there's always going to be something, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if a girl likes you, they like you. And I do think something that helped though is that I'm not ugly. At least I don't feel I'm ugly. Right? I know I look young, but I don't feel I'm ugly. So like what really helps me with that is I've had girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? So I have like that sense of confidence. I know that, hey, if I really put my mind to it, I can get a girl. It's just I hate that I have to really think about it that much, because I really shouldn't have to think about it that much, you know? But it is what it is. That's my struggle. Another thing though, in my opinion, worse than being called a kid is the gay thing, which there's nothing wrong with being gay. Again, I have to make that very clear. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but being a straight male, I don't want to be confused with that. I don't have any problem with anybody in the LGBT community. I mean, you want to be gay, that's your life, you know? I mean, just imagine if you're a gay person, like, I mean, just imagine that everybody thought you were straight. And, and again, like I said, I'm not a person that's going to try to act all macho and shit. Like I said, I'm not gonna try to act older, so I'm not gonna act all macho, because that's not who I am. You know, I don't really care about acting macho. I just be me. And if me being me somehow comes across to people as gay, I mean, well, like, what the fuck? I'm enjoying my life. And I've been reading a book called Ain't I a Woman by Bell Hooks. In the book, she kind of discusses like the perception of black women in America by males and other females too. Their perception, and also how that perception kind of makes them, black females, makes them feel like they gotta act a certain way, or at least some of them have to act a certain way. And I know about propaganda. I know that propaganda can get to anybody.
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
The best defense against propaganda is knowing that what you're hearing is propaganda, at least that's what I think, So I bring that up though, because if I didn't have a good father figure and a good mother figure in my life, I could have been really fucking lost. Think about it, right? People calling me gay. Let's just say in another world where I didn't grow up with good parents, if I'm hearing this shit all the time, right? I'm going to start to think, I'm not. But then I'll be hearing from the outside world, you are. Or I keep getting the same comments. So I would eventually start to think in my head, like, maybe I am. I would start to feel like, okay, well, everybody says it, so I guess it must be that way. But not because I actually feel that way, but because I've been fed propaganda. And in media, there's not a lot of portrayals, at least right now, there's not a lot of good portrayals of masculine, straight black males. So I just think that propaganda could have made me basically have become something that I wasn't, and made me live a lie. You feel what I'm saying? And that's also what I feel like what happens to a lot of youth, which is that they're told shit from the outside and then they become those things, but they aren't really those things. They just, I was told it and people said I looked like it, so I guess that was just what I thought I was. And then there'd be a lot of cases, at least I've heard a lot of cases of people being like, I was living a lie the entire time. I just, kind of just went along with shit, which is sad. But it happens a lot because not everybody has these good figures in their life. And that's something that my heart goes out to those kind of people out there who are living a lie. But I've never particularly cared about trying to go out of my way to prove stuff to randoms. When I was younger, maybe a notch. After like 17, it started going down and downhill to where like right now I don't give a shit at all about proving shit to anybody. I just don't care. Like if somebody says, haha, you're broke. Okay, I don't really care if you believe I'm broke or not. If somebody says, oh, you're gay. Okay, well, I don't really care if you think I'm gay or straight. I don't really care. From randoms, at least. Like, from people I care about, yeah, it's a little bit different, but it's like it still wouldn't make me mad though. Even if it's people I care about, it wouldn't make me mad or feel like I gotta try to prove something. But I guess that explains a lot though. Me not really being one to jump to prove anything kind of goes into all of this. And like, I guess I wasn't intentionally trying to lead to that, but it kind of, I guess, works because it explains it. Like, I do look young, I do, but is there ways of, making sure that people don't see me that way? Sure, there are some ways of doing that, but those ways, at least the ones that I know of, involve like really going out of my way to prove something to somebody, which is something I just won't do because I just don't feel the drive to do it, Though even if I did those things, I feel that I would still be called a kid. I probably wouldn't get the gay comment as much. I probably wouldn't get that as much, but the kid thing I think I'm going to get. As long as I'm fucking underweight and as long as I have a youthful looking face, I think I'm going to be getting that comment for a long time. Oh, and also, no facial hair. This is as much facial hair as I can grow. Right here. Like, see my mustache? I've never cut this shit off. I've been growing this shit since I literally started growing facial hair. I have not cut this off. This I have cut, but that's because it grows kind of strange. But literally, this is all the facial hair right here. This is the only kind of mustache I can get. But I think when I start to get a beard, okay, I think people then are going to start to perceive me as at least 18. I rarely, though, very rarely, I do get the comment like, okay, you're 18 when people try to guess my age. But that's after they've talked to me, right? I've never gotten a comment, oh, you're 18, like just like randomly or just from looks alone. Like online, I look like I'm 18 when I ask the question. In real life, completely, just that blows me away when I hear that shit. That's how rare it is. I do get the comment, are you a kid though, unsolicited, a lot. Women, when I go up to them, they say, how old are you? Or some variation of that, which is funny, so I'm just going to always have to pretty much deal with that until I get that facial hair. And when that point comes, that's going to be real cool. But I'm gonna try to still enjoy my life as much as I can, being the age I am and also looking the way I look. I'm gonna enjoy it as much as I can, you know. And I know what you're saying. Wait a minute, bro. How the fuck could looking young, you know, have any fucking impact on how you live your life? You acting like it's gonna stop you from doing stuff. It does. It actually kind of does, though. Like, I can still go to bars and shit, right? But when you go to a bar and pretty much everybody thinks you're a kid, like, I know that look. That look of, like, should he be in here? Like, I know that look. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, I mean, like, again, but I will say, no, it doesn't, like, stop me. Like, they can't kick me out of places. But it's, like, a lot of the fun of going to a social place like that is being social. If you're not social, then it's like a lot of the point of being there is gone. And yeah, again, I have the opportunity to go up to people and try to introduce myself and be proactive about it. But like I said before, I'm not one to try to prove myself. And if people like that, they like that. It's just the fact that they're not going to try when they think I'm a kid. So, I mean, I don't blame people for not wanting to do that. Because if I was in their situation, I wouldn't want to try to, you know, hang out with a kid either. I understand. So I'm not really mad at people, you know, but it definitely does make scenarios and situations like that, like, close off to me, kind of. Not like I literally can't do it, but just more so just like, it's not really that much fun for me, you know. Maybe one day it will be, but right now it's not, you know. Even though I'm at the point in my life where clubs and bars and things should be fun for me, they just aren't because of the way I look, which sucks, you know. But, you know, what can I do? You know, and again, when I say that, I really am asking out there. If y'all have some kind of solution or have an idea, shoot it to me. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say, at least for right now. I don't really have anything else to say on my mind, but I know there is so much more I can say. I just don't have the thoughts in my head right now. So maybe I'll make a follow-up to this where I'll talk on more of my experience of being perceived the way I am perceived. But for right now, I'm just going to call it here.
It's okay for macho men to show every emotion available right there, you know, because I've cried 1,000 times, I'm going to cry some more. But I've soared with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes and I've been everywhere in between. And I'm going to tell you something right now. There's one guarantee in life, and that there are no guarantees, yeah. And I understand this. Yeah. Nobody likes a quitter. Nobody said life was easy, so if you get knocked down, take the standing 8 count, get back up, and fight again. And you're a macho maniac. Dig it.
Yeah, no, but thank you for watching. I appreciate it. But I guess the only thing I can really say now is namaste and peace.